I'm going to be heading towards IV chemo in the next month. My side effect profile is low, but that's not going to stay the same for long. And basically, until there's a trial, my choices for treatments are really running out. I'm Lisa Laudico, and I was diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer 4 years ago, August 2017. I'm the fourth generation in my family to get breast cancer, and I was screened for breast cancer at 35 pretty early because of this family history. When I started sensing that my body was behaving differently, I knew that I had breast cancer, but everyone else in my family got it at stage 1 or stage 2, and I was the only one that was diagnosed at stage 4. It turns out that my cancer had been slowly growing for years, and the mammograms and ultrasounds were just like wasted time and wasted film. And an MRI is really the only way that people like myself with dense breast tissue can find and detect early stages of breast cancer. There are probably no clinical trials in the United States that I'm eligible to join. And part of that is because the eligibility criteria for many, many clinical trials excludes individuals who have more than 2 or 3 lines of treatment previous. They of course want to have bodies that aren't too heavily treated because that could skew perhaps the results. The problem is that when you're living with metastatic disease, you have to be in treatment to survive. I'm now failing this current clinical trial that I'm on, so I'm running out of choices in terms of my treatment. From an early age, I've had this notion that death can be better. Our society stigmatizes death. No one wants to talk about it. Everyone's trying to extend their life, and I understand that. I take really toxic drugs to try to extend my life. But society can be more open to the beauty in a life well lived. As much as we prepare for the birth of a child, we should also think about and be prepared for our own deaths, and that can be really a beautiful thing in the end. I am just part of this really shitty club of awesome people. And I, with a group of other people, decided that we could fund a tree that would be ours in Central Park, and that's where we could go when we were wanting to remember our friends. So when I go to treatment, I'll walk by the tree and I'll put my hand on the tree, and I think of all of them. It's a way for us to feel a connection to these friends that have died. We like to say that it's the metastatic breast cancer tree for everyone. I would love for people to really understand and know that young women are getting breast cancer and metastatic breast cancer at alarmingly rapid rates. It's increasing, and oncologists that I speak to are saying we have no idea what's happening, but it's happening, and they know it needs to be studied. But in the meantime, do not dismiss young women who are complaining about breast health issues. They know their bodies, and if you're a young woman listening to this, know your body. And do not back down. I also want to make sure people understand that racial disparities in healthcare absolutely kills. You should really, if you have dense breast tissue, especially, my Black sisters who have strong breast cancer histories in their family, you just need to demand MRIs. And I know that that's another issue that us advocates are working on, and making sure that MRIs certainly are paid for by all insurance plans, because it's really the only way for certain types of breast tissue. It's the only way it's going to get detected. I think it's also important to mention that in October, when you see companies or brands that use pink or pink ribbon, always ask, Where is that money going? Do you know? And if not, take a moment to ask or suggest metastatic breast cancer research needs funding, and that if this pink ribbon product does not go directly to that, you are just basically putting lipstick on a pig. It is not doing anything to help individuals trying to find a cure for breast cancer. When I do anything, I always think about my kids, but I'm not going to be with them later in life. And so all I can do is be the best person I can be and show them the hard stuff can also provide great learning, and by showing them how to live well and eventually how to die well if I'm so fortunate, that's providing them with good life skills. I would really like to be an old lady and barking out orders from the kitchen, but that's not going to be the way it's going to go down. So in the meantime, I'm going to show them how to do hard stuff well. Every single thing I do is to show them my best self, how to live. So in terms of advocacy, last year, in July of 2020, we launched our podcast. We interview oncologists, researchers, patient advocates. We focus on issues that maybe other people may not think is important, but people in the metastatic breast cancer community do. And we're doing really interesting things. You know, we're talking about relationships and intimacy. Who talks about sex and death? We're going to be talking about it as it relates to metastatic breast cancer. It's really important. So we really are the voice of our community. That's what we hope to be.